I'm Gerardo Capiel, and I lead product management for consumer payments here at Google. And with me is my partner in crime, Varouj Chitilian.
All right, who's excited to hear about Google Pay today?
Woo!
All right.
Great. So earlier this year, we unified all the ways that you can pay with Google into a single brand called Google Pay. With Google Pay, you can pay online and at millions of places all around the world with the payment information that you saved in your Google account. Today, we're going to be talking about the great ways in which we're making it easier, faster, and more rewarding for your customers to check out online and in stores.
We want to make payments easy for everyone, everywhere. See, Google Pay is not just an app. Google Pay makes payments a foundational and integral part of a Google user's account. So if a Google user is logged into any Google service, they can experience the amazing payment experiences that Google Pay provides. The other advantage to tying everything to one account is that payment methods and transactions can all be managed in a central location. Now, we all know that mobile is the fastest growing e-commerce surface, but your customers are transacting on all surfaces. So we want to make sure with Google Pay that, that Google users can pay as easily in stores with a tap as they can online at your sites and apps, as well as on Google, on Chrome, on YouTube, Google Play, and even Google Assistant.
Thanks, Varouj. So what's in it for all you developers out here in the crowd? Well, currently, there are hundreds of millions of payment methods saved to Google accounts when users transact on Play or when they save their cards in Chrome. We know from operating Google Play, one of the world's largest e-commerce marketplaces, that these users that have saved payment methods to their account are much more likely to complete a transaction than when they haven't. And we call these users ready-to-pay users. Via our APIs, we're going to enable these ready-to-pay users to also check out quickly and easily in your own apps and websites, which means that you're going to see increased conversion rates, faster monetization, and you'll be able to provide your customers with the same easy, quick checkout experience that we provide on Play. Now, speaking of payment methods, let me turn to the Google Pay app. So in an upcoming update of the Google Pay app, we're going to allow you to manage all the payment methods in your Google account, not just the payment methods that you use to pay in store. And even better, we're going to provide you with a holistic view of all your transactions, whether they be on Google apps and services such as Play and YouTube, whether they be with third-party merchants such as Walgreens and Uber, or whether they're transactions you've made to friends and families via our peer-to-peer service. And of course, the app is available on Android, but I'm really excited to tell you all that we're bringing this capability to iOS and the web. Woo! So, let's dig a little deeper into the Google Pay app. So if you've opened the app, you come to a Home tab. That hopefully many of you have seen this. And this tab is personalized for you based on the credit and debit cards in your Google account, based on the loyalty programs that you have saved to Google Pay, based on the offers that you have saved to Google Pay, and even based on the stores that are nearby you. You can see examples of the many types of cards that you might find in the home feed of the Google Pay app. Now, what's really exciting is that some of these feed cards are actionable. So for example, this card that you see here allows you to sign up for Balance Rewards, or if you already belong, it allows you to link your Balance Rewards account to your Google account. And this card is geo-aware. And so what that means is it only shows up when you're at Walgreens. So that's what makes the Home tab so personalized and great. So merchants out there and providers of loyalty programs and offers programs that wish to take advantage of these features should join the ranks of the hundreds of partners that have implemented the Google Pay APIs for loyalty. And to learn more, I encourage you to go to g.co/pay/business. Now, we're also working with ticketing providers so that our users can easily and quickly save event tickets and boarding passes to their Google account and then be able to access them right in the Google Pay app. I'm excited to announce some of our early access partners, some which I see out here in the crowd, such as Singapore Airlines, Southwest, Eventbrite, and Fortress GB, who provides ticketing infrastructure to major soccer leagues in the UK and beyond. So to talk more about transit, I'm going to turn it to Varouj.
Yeah, so loyalty and payments covers most of what's in your wallet. But transit is a massive use case for our Google users. Now, Google Pay already supports transit and has for a while at transit agencies that accept contactless debit or credit cards. So we see transactions in London, Chicago, Kiev, Sydney, Portland, and coming soon in Vancouver. But if we only support contactless debit or credit cards for transit, we'll be leaving a large portion of our Google users that use traditional transit tickets and passes underserved. And so we've been partnering with transit technology providers like NXP and ITSO to natively support these traditional tickets and passes within the Google Pay app. So you may have heard recently that we launched in Las Vegas, as well as in Portland. And today, we'd like to announce that coming soon, we'll have support in West Midlands in the UK. So very, very exciting. Now, we're working really hard on Google Pay, and Google Pay is already available to hundreds of millions of users in 18 markets. And I'm really proud to say that just recently, Google Pay passed 100 million downloads in the Google Play Store. Very exciting.
Woo!
But we're not stopping there. Very soon, we will be launching many of the core features and the Google Pay app globally. That means that billions of Google users worldwide will be able to leverage the amazing payment experiences that Google Pay provides. So we're very, very excited about this.
Great. It is super exciting. And users in the UK and the US have one more thing to be excited about. We are bringing peer-to-peer payments right into the Google Pay app. That means that you'll be able to send and request money directly from the app in the Send tab. But even more exciting than that is that you're going to be able to easily split for those that purchase for tickets to the soccer game or the drinks at the pub, easily right from the Google Pay app. So if you pull up the transaction details after paying for drinks at the pub, right from there, you'll be able to split the expense with your friends. Super exciting.
Awesome. And guess what? For many of these payment experiences, you don't even need to have the Google Pay app installed. For example, our P2P experience is already embedded in Gmail, Android Contacts, Google Assistant, Apple iMessage, and Android Messages. Last year, we announced the ability for you, through your mobile banking app, to provision a debit or credit card into Google Pay to be able to use it in stores and online. This year, we take it a step further with our banking partners. You can now sign up for a new credit or debit card in the mobile banking app, have that provisioned to Google Pay, and start using it even before the credit or debit card arrives in the mail. Is that awesome?
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And so now that we've taken you through this whirlwind tour of everything that's been happening since we were last up here, which has been dizzying, and it's the things that are making it easier, simpler, and more rewarding for our users to pay online and in stores, let's talk about the specific ways in which you all here can create great experiences for your customers online and in stores. So let's start with online. What I really like about online is its scale. There are millions and millions of merchants all around the world where you can buy things online. And we want to make every single one of those checkout experiences great. So that means that we need solutions that scale. And ideally, they're solutions where you don't have to do anything or just do very little. Chrome Autofill is one of those experiences. Chrome Autofill removes the hassle from users of having to type in credit card numbers, type in shipping addresses and billing addresses. It makes it super simple. So hopefully your site already works perfectly with Chrome Autofill, but we know that there's a number out there that don't. So we want to make sure that your users are able to take advantage of autofill as best as possible. And we've published a set of guidelines and best practices that will enable you to test and optimize your checkout forms for Chrome Autofill. To learn more, go to g.co/pay/autofill, or when you exit out of here, visit our sandbox right across the way and speak with our engineers about how you can optimize your checkout flow.
So if we focused exclusively on autofill, we'd be doing Google users a disservice. The North Star here is really to skip the checkout form altogether. And that's where the Google Pay APIs for checkout come in. Now, we announced the online payment APIs last year, but since then, we've made 3 major enhancements that I'd like to talk to you about. Number 1, we're announcing JavaScript bindings for the Google Pay API for checkout. That means you can provide your customers with great payment experiences that Google Pay provides across all browsers. Number 2, in our APIs, we use a very consistent JSON representation of the request and response object. What this means is that if you implement the Google Pay APIs for checkout, for example, for web, with JavaScript, you can easily port that, including the payment processing, to your app and also to Google Assistant. I actually want to show you a quick demo here, not a demo, but screens here of what we've done with Fandango that's coming soon, where you can actually get a very easy checkout experience from Google Search when you use the Google Pay APIs for checkout. So a user searches for tickets on google.com, then they go to the Fandango site where they can easily select and purchase tickets using Google Pay. So very exciting. And the last thing, that last enhancement that I'd like to talk about is that we've enhanced our Is Ready to Pay API. With this API, you can tell whether a user on your site, a customer on your site, it has payment method that you can actually accept. And what this allows you to do is, now that you know that this is a ready-to-pay user, you can really streamline the checkout experience and really drive increased conversions.
Great. That's
Let's see
pretty
this
cool,
stuff in action.
but it's even cooler when you see it in action. Let's turn to the computer, please. Great. So last year when we were up here, we showed you the great checkout experience that we created on the web, but it was limited to Chrome on Android. I'm really excited that we've now extended this to many other browsers, such as Safari, both on desktop and iOS, Firefox, and a number of browsers, and Edge and Internet Explorer are coming soon. And you'll be able to play with this yourselves right after this, this slide. So I'm on our demo site. Time to get some new Google gear. So I like this shell right here. So I go to the product details page, and I see that there is a Buy with Google Pay button. And this is good because you may not know this, but over 60% of online purchases are really just for one item. So why put users through a multi-step checkout flow where they have to add to a cart and all these other steps? Let's just let them buy what they want right directly from product details. So when I click there, because I was already logged into my Google account, since I was maybe checking my Gmail or using YouTube, whatever other Google service, I'm automatically logged in. I see the payment methods that I've saved to my Google account and other information that's in my Google account, such as my shipping address. And then I just hit continue, and voila, I am done. It's that simple. OK, so that's cool. But on Chrome, we're doing something even more cool in the near future. So on Chrome, we are creating a near-native experience that is fast and seamless and tightly integrated into Chrome. As you can see right here, when I move my window around, things stay in place. And this is really great. Let's turn it back to the slides, please. So if you want to check this out yourselves on your iPhone or on your desktop, go to g.co/pay/webdemo. OK, so fewer distractions, faster checkout, simpler checkout means greater conversion. And we're pretty confident that you're going to see these types of results when you implement the Google Pay API. Since we announced Google Pay, the response from merchants has been overwhelming all around the world. We've added merchants such as Uber and DoorDash, ASOS, Deliveroo, and soon coming, Starbucks. And our partners are seeing great results. StubHub, for example, since they've implemented the newest version of our API, has seen a 7x increase in transactions through Google Pay. And Airbnb saw an 11x increase in transactions through Google Pay. And it's also interesting that Hotel Tonight, interesting and great, has found that users that use Google Pay to complete a booking are 65% more likely to complete the transaction than those who don't. So really, really great results. Super exciting. Varouj, tell us more.
Yeah, so if you guys take one thing away from I/O on the payment side, you should definitely figure out how you're going to implement these Google Pay APIs for checkout on your surfaces to give your customers incredible payment experiences. And we have 2 additional sessions that you can go to. The first is tomorrow, what's new for online checkout. That's on stage 6. And the second is by our UX team. It's called Google Pay Best Practices for Great Payment Experiences. And that's on stage 7 on Thursday. So please go out and check those out.
Great. So let's talk next about something that users love more than saving time, saving money. Who doesn't love to save money? So Google Pay is more than just a way to pay. We've invested heavily in making Google Pay a platform by which you can engage your users through loyalty and offers. In previous years, we've been up here and we've talked about our Smart Tap protocol, which is based on NFC and allows users, when they're in store, to just tap once and convey their loyalty credentials and offers along with payment information. It's a great experience, and merchants all around the world have been implementing Smart Tap and creating great value-added checkout experiences for their users. So I'm excited to announce today that Russia's Sberbank is the latest partner that is going to be rolling out Smart Tap across thousands of merchants in Russia. And this is super exciting. Varouj?
Yeah, but we're not just stopping at loyalty and offers when it comes to Smart Tap. We're working with tickets as well. And in fact, we have an incredible demo today that we've done with our partners at Ticketmaster that brings together all the APIs and Smart Tap into one demo. So let's go to the phone. So you'll have to use your imagination here. Let's all pretend we're in Orlando. So excuse the humidity. And I'm a massive soccer fan, and my favorite team is the Chicago Fire of the MLS. So Chicago Fire is visiting Orlando City SC, and I really want to check out this game with Gerardo. So I'm going to open the Ticketmaster app. Now, since they're my favorite team, it'll be in favorites. So now I select the game. I select the ticket. Do buy now. And here we see the buy with Google Pay button. So I'll give that a click. And I'll complete checkout. Boom, I've purchased these tickets.
Gets better, though. Gets better.
What's that?
I said it gets better.
Oh, it gets better, yeah. So now I can view these tickets. And here we see the Save to Phone buttons that Gerardo mentioned. So I can save this ticket to Google Pay. So now, let's open the Google Pay app. When I go to the cards, I now notice that I have my tickets here for Orlando SC versus Chicago Fire, and I'm all ready to go to this game. So I'm super excited.
Get your gear on.
But here's a kicker, no pun intended. I can actually go to the gate to get into the game. And I don't need to fiddle around with paper tickets, and I don't need to scan QR codes. All I need to do...
Let's turn it to the to Elmo. Thank you.
is tap, and I've gained entry into the stadium, and I go along the way. So these are the incredible user journeys that we can create together with these APIs. Back to the slides.
OK, that was great. Now that we've overloaded you with information about all the great things that you can do with Google Pay, what are next steps? So the first one is super easy because it just takes a few steps. You exit out this door, and you head over to our sandbox. And there you can meet with the engineers that have built all these amazing things. And you can get your questions answered. You can get demos. And some of the demos even get you cookies. And I'm not talking about browser cookies, like real tasty, good cookies.
Oh, man. I'm getting hungry up here.
Yeah. And as we've mentioned, throughout the presentation, there are several deep dives the rest of this week into the different things that we talked about today. First of all, I'd encourage you to go check out tomorrow night at 6:30 on this stage the What's New for Online Checkout session, which is going to be run by one of our PMs and one of the engineers that have built all this amazing things. Then on Thursday, our payments UX team is going to be doing a session on best practices for creating great checkout flows. And they're going to touch upon many of the things that we talked about today, but really go a lot deeper and beyond. And then finally, on Thursday afternoon, right near here, on stage 5, you can learn about how you can add transactional capabilities to your actions.
So if you can't make these sessions, or the sandbox, or if you're watching on live stream and you want to learn more, these are some of the resources you can go to. g.co/pay/autofill will give you best practices on how to optimize your site for autofill. g.co/pay/business will give you an overview of everything we've discussed today. And if you're a developer and you just want to jump right into the API documentation, please go to g.co/pay/developers to get the API documentations directly. It's going backwards. So I want to say thank you to all the developers and the developer community in the room. Really, these payment experiences are a partnership between us. We can't provide these payment experiences to your customers without you. And so thank you very much for coming today, and thank you for working with us in developing these incredible experiences together with Google Pay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.